U.S. intelligence agency mind control.
But let's get to Europe, because in a win
That
for
was
the almost
fucking aggressive.
450 million people
Jesus Christ.
living in the European Union, the leftist cesspool that has been European Parliament for a very long time has been drained in this year's European elections. Every 5 years, they get a chance to drain that swamp, and this year, gosh, did they deliver. Now, if you...
Isn't Sky News Australia just pathetic?
They said drain that swamp.
watch any mainstream media, they're saying the far right parties have taken over. Or maybe just mainstream values won out, because if they're that popular, then they must be mainstream. So bad was the bloodletting, or good if you're standing where I am.
I am so glad that I showed the unbiased proper takes first, because if you only listen to this person, you would think that the left wing won nothing.
Well, I mean, that's how the people on the left, like, I've been presenting it as well.
Yeah.
Like the fucking Hassan thumbnail is like, this is awful, not good.
Yeah.
You know? Like,
And his analysis is also probably dog shit.
We're fucked now.
Belgium's Prime Minister wasted no time resigning in tears. The world's smallest violin plays. Goodbye, globalist scum. And then, of course, there was French President Emmanuel Macron, who, again, the results were so devastating.
This is literally
that, okay, the French...
Literally comic book supervillain news.
Yes.
Like, this is where, like, the Legion of Doom gets their news from in the Super Friends.
People are telling me I am on the
This is
nose.
real
It's
news,
called
honest
a
views.
snap election.
Demagogues and nationalists on the rise is bad for our nation, it's
Honest
bad for
views,
Europe,
as in,
and it is bad for the place
we're
of
open about our racism.
France in Europe and in the world. Yes, the far right.
Did I tell you that there was a journalist that came out and was like, Australia's racist, and basically the entire country lost their shit at her?
Right is bad for the French people and for the French nation.
Like, the last time this happened, it was her name, the chick's name, she was Yasmin something, but she made a post on Anzac Day about Palestine, Nauru, and another micronation, sort of, I think it's another prison colony in Australia.
Palau?
Possibly. It was three countries. One was definitely Nauru, the other one was Palestine, the other one I'm not 100%. But she basically instantly regretted that tweet because it's Anzac Day, and Australians, even though they don't really care, are pretty they'll defend Anzac Day. It's like Memorial Day. And she was like, oh, they've run me out of the country. This racist country has run me out of the country because I'm brown. That's not why. You made a stupid statement, and the entire country turned on you, and you ran and played victim. It's exactly what this like, it's the exact same situation as what's happening right now, except she doesn't have a race card to fall back on. And she doesn't have another country that she can leave to, because she's a dual citizen. So it's just a very interesting situation that we're seeing another journalist create another series of fake nationalist outrage because of a stupid statement that nobody should give a shit about. And then
At the end of the day,
Australian news.
I was not able to
How do
just
you expect
pretend nothing has happened.
The far right are bad, but the vast majority of you clearly want it, because Le Pen's Conservative Party
this is worse
has
than
given
Daily
that man
Wire.
a hiding he will never forget. And while he was dissolving Parliament and calling a
rather
snap
watch Matt
election
Walsh.
due to take place next month, France was celebrating. As as was Germany, as their AfD party, known as the right-wing party in the country, also was elected to the European Parliament.
Hey, you remember how I continually say we should stop using terms like far right?
Yes. I was going to say that as I was coming back from the toilet. I was like, I was just thinking, it's like, it's funny that we haven't been crying about left and right wing terms, because it's just, that's all they've been using. It'd be so much easier if we could just define the ideologies instead of left and right.
They're kind of center right, even though they say they're a social democrat. Okay?
So tell me their actual policies.
What does that mean? What does that mean? Is because, like, does right wing mean capitalist over socialist, or does it have to do with fucking anti-liberalism? What do you mean?
And then there was Ireland, the rowdiest bunch of the lot.
Oh, so well, that's so funny to be like, and then Ireland, they also are they're crying about. Nobody is crying about Ireland's candidates.
Yeah, people are celebrating because Claire Daly's not there anymore. If anything, does that mean Mick Wallace is gone too?
Yeah.
Fuck
so,
yes.
So the leading party picks the MPs. So yeah.
Oh, that's fucking epic. Okay, so they're gone. Thank God.
Yeah.
Thank God.
And like
fascist W.
Well, like for alt right, like I talk about this a lot, but when we were reporting on Euromaidan, they didn't want us using terms like alt right for
right sector.
Right sector, yeah. So I started saying alt right as an ultra right. So ULT, alt right.
Yep.
So I did that. I coined that term just to like be like, go fuck yourself. Which I think is better than alt right.
Yes, I agree.
Because if there's a party in EU being called the left, and there's also social parties.
Yeah.
Okay.
The fuck does the left mean? It's clearly, if they're further left than the Social Democratic Party, then they're just communist. Just call yourself communist. You've literally got hungry hammers in symbols.
I don't know when
parties
this whole like far right, far left thing started coming into play.
Around Trump.
You think? It was the Bernie bro era?
Yeah. It's not a thinking. It's I know.
The thing is that centrist still works.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
But,
see, 2015, 16, because that's
so
when
like centrist. I think is
when,
fine.
Because that's when alt-right really happened, was at the tail end of Gamergate, going into Trump's presidency. That's when the alt-right thing happened. That's when the Proud Boys came about. That's when Jack Posobiec got popular. That's when Nick Fuentes got popular.
And again, like, even if we're saying like far right doesn't make sense there either. Like I'll like alt-right is a little better because they're an alternative to like traditional right-wingist politics. But at the same time, they should just call themselves fascist.
Because it also legitimizes them as an actual votable party when they're not. They're just fascists. So that's the other reason I think that alt-right should be ditched, thrown away and ditched, is because of that primarily. But yeah, it's mostly around that time, because that's just thinking back now,
but that's really the issue, is because you can't win elections if your party's called communist or nationalist.
Yeah,
but you can get stuff that's like national something.
Yeah.
And here is that newly elected member, Maliki, speaking to the press.
What message, in your view, does your election tell to the rest of the country?
It sends a very clear message that the revolution has begun.
Oh,
What a
okay.
win
All I
for the
heard was it
European
sends a clear
Union.
message
Check
that the
out a quick
revolution has
summary
begun.
of this
It's
bloodletting.
almost
France,
like
the national rally wins.
revolutionary systems are built into each branch of Irish politics. I wonder why.
Germany, the AFD party surges. Belgium, PM's gone. Meloni's brother of Italy wins. You'll recall that she is best known as a staunch conservative. Austria,
Fascist.
the FPO becomes the largest party in the country. Spain, the right was beating the left by 10%. In the end, they
What
won
does that
by
mean?
more than that. And Luxembourg, first ever seat for the ADR, which is also known as a also right-wing party, because that's what they try to convince everybody
hate
else
this
that
person.
mainstream values are now.
This video was brought to you by...
I fucking hate that.
Are you aware of a CIA psychological profile about you, sir? Would you be interested in hearing what the CIA had to say? This secret study portrays as a brilliant but dangerous megalomaniac who is likely to pursue his own aims in disregard of U.S. interests. He's an uncertain ally. Shall I go on, or would you prefer that I stop, sir?